YouTube, but we aren't live on these other platforms. Let's go live.
Come on with it.
Welcome back, welcome
Back,
back,
welcome back.
You guys.
Hey, everybody.
Hey.
What's up, good people?
We are coming live tonight. We have us a truly interesting, turning my phone off, conversation.
Yes, we do.
I mean, like for real.
Yeah, it is.
You know, because people do things in secret and they want them to remain a secret. However, would you forgive your spouse for committing an indiscretion? Make sure you're in this camera. Indiscretion that you got away with, that you did in secret. Would you forgive her?
So,
Could you?
I think it's layers to this question. Number one, if I got away with it, that's I got away with it. I don't.
does it depend on the indiscretion, though?
No.
Okay, go ahead.
Like,
I mean, like you
Like,
spend too much
indiscretion
money,
is indiscretion.
cheating. There's levels to this,
I mean,
you know.
you all know that I'm gonna cheat on my spouse with money. That's just kind of what I do. So that I'm gonna do, and that I'll tell her.
you are a shopper.
I am, but an indiscretion that involved another person, another party, a sex act, and I got away with it, and she got caught. I don't know. That's she might have to do a better job of not getting caught.
So maybe she didn't get caught. Maybe she told you about it. Nobody said she got caught. Maybe she just said.
The witch.
People
The
tell
witch.
the truth. Sometimes
Witch,
it's hard to live with.
Yeah,
They don't
some
wanna
people
lie.
feel like
Everything-
I can't live with this. I want to say I have to tell you that I had an affair, but it didn't mean anything. And what if she said that?
Why did you tell me? I was happily ignorant.
Ignorance is bliss.
So I'll just tell you how I feel about it. I personally feel that whatever you do, if it doesn't come out in the wash, it's going to come out in the rinse. That's something my boyfriend always says. And I believe that. In life, you may feel like you got away with something.
Mm-hmm.
You may feel like, okay, you didn't get away with it. It's going to come out at some point, and it may be at the most inopportune time. So I did have a conversation with some married people today about this, because we're talking about really if this happens like in a marriage. And I mean, you could liken it to your relationship, but really in a marriage. One person said, give him grace, give him mercy. Give him grace. If you did it and he did it, move on. But she did say, if it was something that was like, not just a one-off or something like that, it was a whole affair, she was like, it's a choice every single day to use your strong muscles to stay committed in a relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody has temptation,
Mm-hmm.
right? And she's a very pretty girl, so she's surrounded by temptation, but she chooses her husband every day.
Mm-hmm.
She said, if he opens up that door, right, then he basically is giving her a hall pass. She doesn't have to be so strong with her muscles of, I'm married, don't look at me kind of thing.
I don't
That's how she
disagree.
feels. Now, me, personally, I feel like your initial response to something, your knee-jerk reaction, something that is shocking, hurtful, oh my God, may not be your same deliberate or deliberated response to something. You've thought better about it. You've calmed down. You may not feel like I get a hall pass. So I'm going to say take 10, take a breather. Don't just act out, because, excuse me, men can't handle the same behavior coming from you than they can do with themselves. It's a double standard. We know it. It's been around forever. Gary, I That's why I think that you feel like she needs to do better about her secretivity game. You
Like,
know,
she needs to tighten up her pimping. I mean, that's, what are you doing? I mean, how you get caught? And I mean,
Tighten up her pimping.
I mean, because honestly, I'm a firm believer of this, and this is going to be one of the most sexist things that I've ever said. But just it's probably in the top 10, I'm sure. But I only feel like a woman gets caught cheating if she's trying or she just doesn't care. I don't feel like a motivated woman is gonna get caught cheating. I don't.
I don't disagree with that.
I don't. But then there's a stream that can happen. The person that you are cheating with catches real feelings, and then they tell.
Blow up the spot.
But she probably wouldn't be super messy and leaving breadcrumbs. No, hey, I'm over here, Hotel 6. No, they're not doing that. I agree. However, I do want to go back, like, to the point, to the subject. If you go to your spouse on your own, let's just say, because we talked about that too, on your own accord, you didn't get caught, but you're just like, I
Can't live with this.
can't live with this.
Have to confess.
You like, who does that? But
Who are these people?
it could open up a door for the other spouse who had, as you put it, gotten away with it, to say, you know what, it happened to me too. And maybe you all could, because again, whatever doesn't come out in the wash is going to come out in the rinse. Maybe it's a way to move forward together in a path where clean slate. I don't know if that's something that is like very popular, but it did come up in our conversation. And it is all about the communication. So
Yeah, I don't know. I think that if
you're like, who does that? It's so
if I've done something that I know I've done something, and then my spouse did it, I don't think I would be as angry. And that, to me, for him, if he had any common sense, he should be thinking, she's not upset. Why the hell is she not going off? Why isn't she crying? Why isn't she bouncing off the ceilings? So if I'm just like, want to just have a conversation and I don't want to talk, I'm not upset, and I'm going on with life as usual, then he should be wondering, why is that?
Maybe you're just gonna get the best dramatic performance in a love triangle.
It's like she's acting outside of herself.
Because let me say, I if we're talking about an infidelity indiscretion, I have been on the other side of that. I have been cheated on, and when I'm not doing anything. I'm all into this person. I've been cheated on. That's heartbreaking for anybody. You feel like, God, I'm giving you my all. I'm giving you my best, and this is what you do. But if you're out there too doing your own thing, why are you gonna be upset?
I agree.
Why are you gonna be upset?
Because people are selfish.
One of the ways that I see it coming out is that if we go to counseling, because we just can't figure out what's wrong, and we're trying to work through it, and she puts it out there, hey, man, whatever, however it happened, boom, boom, boom. Then in that situation, if I'm really trying to stay married and work through it, I'm gonna tell the truth to the doctor.
Yeah, with your spouse sitting there.
Yes.
And then that's another thing. So then, if you decide, is that surprising to you to hear him say that?
I am. That he's going to tell the doctor, because he was looking at me like, who the hell tells anybody to get to the grave? He's like, well, but the doctor.
He said, but if he's trying to work it out.
Yeah, if I'm really trying to work it out, if I'm just like, man, as soon as we file these taxes, you out of here. I'm not saying, okay, cool.
So when Gary's nonchalant has no reaction, ladies, you should no. Okay, I'm gonna stop.
Yeah, I do think that if the person who has been wronged, and I'm saying, and I'm not talking about like an indiscretion that's small. I mean, like.
Well, apparently both people have been wronged in this situation.
Well, I'm saying, yeah. I mean, if you find out, if you have a married person, and I don't want to make it sound like men are always cheating, so let me just flip the script. If the woman, if the man finds out, well, it's so different because, like you said, men react to things differently.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just gonna say, since I'm a woman, I just have to go with what I know. If I am 100% to you and you're cheating on me, but if it's something that I knew that I did in the past and you didn't find out about it, I'm telling you, I don't know that I'm gonna be like all emotional about it. I think I'm just gonna be like,
I also feel
I wouldn't say that I wouldn't feel anything, but I'm not gonna be bouncing off the walls.
it would have something to do for all of us, you included here, even though you're not a woman, how egregious this thing is. Like,
Right. That's why I said there's levels to this.
right, like, okay, so let's say you didn't just say, oh, honey, guess what? We need to talk. I cheated. It's not that. He found out because somebody told him from work, and now he's embarrassed. And now, you know what I mean? You have to deal with all these other factors and feelings and emotions. And maybe who you cheated with is also.
And how long it was going on.
So yeah, it's how egregious the sin is,
Right.
how hurtful it is and how embarrassing. I think has a lot to do with it. Like you said, women are a lot more methodical and careful. You mentioned before like patterns and stuff like that when the pattern changes. And to his point with what he said about you, like why are you responding like that? And you were like, I mean,
because some people just have no boundaries.
that would be your pattern.
They'll
That
go
would be
after
like,
your
oh, okay.
yeah. It wouldn't.
Right.
So some people have no boundaries. Some men have no boundaries. They'll go after your sister. So if I cheated with Joe Blow and then I find out you're sleeping with you're fucking my sister,
Right.
Then there's an issue. We got
That's hurtful.
So we have a problem.
That's
Yeah.
you disrupted all the families at this point.
It's the age-old thing. There is no right way to do a wrong thing, but there is definitely a wrong way to
Right.
do a wrong thing. And,
Right.
sister or, siblings fall into that basket.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you find out your niece is really your sibling, you know what I mean? That's
You got some
pretty foul.
Some sun fuse going.
So,
It's your son and your nephew.
So yeah, sun fuse.
you need to coin that one. That was pretty good. Oh my goodness. But I want to say this too. If you open up the dialogue of you did this, I did this, maybe our relationship looks different. It doesn't necessarily have to end, but maybe they need to entertain whatever it is that they're both doing in secret so that they can progress in a path that's kind of, similar
Well,
together.
the whole open and honest thing, it works in this way in that once you put something out there, it can never be used against you. If you put it out there, hey, this is what I did, you deal with it, you try to get better, then it's not something that's going to come up later or something that could come up later. And I mean, that whole double
It
life.
could come
It
up
could.
later, right? It doesn't end
It
there.
But I'm saying
It may not change.
it won't be a surprise.
No.
You knew that.
The shock
As
value
long
is
as
not the same.
everything is on the table, it's not like, oh, it happened once and then somebody tells you, no, they were fucking for years or months.
Well, at the point in which
You gotta
you gotta tell.
You got to put it out on the table, right?
It's the truth.
Right.
Hey, this is what it is. This
Right.
is what happened.
Right.
Don't ask questions that you don't want answers to.
That's true too, though.
If because I mean, people. How many times was it? I can't even remember. Was it good? Absolutely. So I mean, those sort of things. Don't ask those sort of questions. If you want to know and know a detail, don't ask questions, because I mean, once you start asking me, I'm going to tell you the truth at that point when I'm confessing.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you ask the wrong
No
question,
ice in here, just to let you know.
All melted.
Go ahead.
It's one little piece. Right.
My tooth is bigger than that. Anyway.
can we get back from water wars?
I'm just saying, she wanted to petty me about that ice. At
You
one
gave
time.
me fishbowl water.
Where'd you get this water from? Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry, Gary.
Hey, no. I mean, I just think that if there's that window of honesty, then it has to be all encompassing. And I can't tell you that I cheated and not tell you, you know, that, oh yeah, by the way, we went to Acapulco, or, you know, whatever, you know, we did this or something, blah 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 blah. She spent the night over here 3 nights last week.
In your marital bed
Yes.
when you were on a business trip.
Yes.
You know,
And
sometimes
I
when
said
you
you
tell
go to your
truth,
mother.
oh my gosh, burdens are lifted though. You know, when you get it off your chest, like, I'll give you an example. It's not the same, but it's you'll get the gist. So when I had my son and he was, you know, an infant, I was laying on the couch and I fell asleep with him on my chest.
Mm-hmm.
And I woke up with a big thump. And he was crying on the floor. And I was like, oh my God, my baby. And I felt so guilty, like so guilty, that I told his dad. And I was like, I dropped him. He was like, me too.
No.
You know? And for a split second, I felt relieved that it just didn't happen to me. But I was like, you didn't even tell me on your own. You just told me because I told you, you know. But I think he felt a sense of relief. Because he was running around thinking I dropped my son.
And if you can do it, and he was like, okay.
Right. So I think that sometimes when people just get things that they've been like holding on to and they feel so badly about it and they feel like, you know, well, what are the repercussions of this, you know, they feel relieved and lighter.
The part that I'll agree with is that I definitely don't ever want to live a double life again. I don't want there to be, you know, I have my girlfriend, my wife, and my you know, that's too much. It's whoever I'm with, I'm gonna be with, and that's how that's gonna work.
That would be, it's exhausting, wouldn't it?
I would imagine that that's a lot and expensive.
And I forget stuff.
Expensive, yeah.
And I forget, you know, I got into like a huge argument one time when I was cheating, and I was like, we did go see that movie together. And she's like, no, we didn't. I'm like, yes, we did, and blah, blah, blah.
Listen, if a woman tell you didn't see the movie with her, you did not see the movie with her.
Young,
Believe her.
young, dumb, and arrogant, but, you know.
And you kept saying you did.
I mean, like, you know, I was demonstrative. Like, yes, we did, you know.
I bought you popcorn, Twizzlers, right?
I was like, I'm sorry.
Digging the hole, just digging the hole.
Deeper, you know, get some power equipment out here. The shovel's not working fast enough.
You had the wine. I don't even drink wine.
So, I mean, you know, as I get older, I just don't want to live a double life. I want whatever it is to be what it is. And I'll deal with the consequences, because that is the statement that I'm making when I do anything, that I'm prepared to pay for whatever this costs.
I don't know if it's that easy in a marriage where people feel like, oh, just deal with the consequences, you know, I'm willing to pay. It's a marriage, you know, and it's you said I do till death do us part, through good, bad. That would definitely be a bad.
But, I mean, I look at this, and I don't ever think that, well, certainly when I was old enough to really recognize and catch it, I don't ever think that my dad stepped out on my mom. And I think that in a marriage, you have to be willing to commit and say, you know what, hey, I'm going to do this. And, I mean, you know, if you are breathing, you're going to have opportunities. That's not an excuse to do what you want to do.
Right.
Absolutely.
And at the point in which you say in front of other people, you know, hey, I'm ready to spend all of my life with you, you got to make it work. And you're signing up for the good, the bad, the ugly, the indifferent, the
That's
broke,
right.
the rich, the positive, the everything. And you take all of that and you deal with it. I mean, we can be mad, but if I'm staying married, I'm not cheating. I'm not trying, you know, if I cheat,
good.
I'm saying that I ain't trying to be married.
That's good.
You know, like, I mean, this indiscretion doesn't necessarily have to be just sex or just ends with sex. It could be something as big as an outside child was created that you don't know about, and the wife may have had an affair that he didn't know about, and she got pregnant but didn't keep it. You know what I mean? It could be something that was just, people have
Straight
so
off
much
of Jenny
guilt.
Jones episode.
You know,
Well, that's what I was saying. It
it
doesn't
could
have to
be.
be affairs. It
Yeah.
could be something as like you spent money on something and hid it, and I did it. I just didn't tell you, but I found what you hid. So now I want to bounce off the sins and be like, you bought a motorcycle? How much was that ninja? So yeah, it could be anything. And women, at least I know I was good for racing home, getting my packages. I get my Nordstrom packages and racing and hide them in my closet. So I was good for that. So
I told you all the story about the clothes, and you buy the clothes, then you take them, ball them up, put them in the cleaners, and then bring them back in the cleaners plastic. So they never see you with the new stuff.
oh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
I don't have to hide anything from anybody now, but that's a good one.
Here you are.
That's a good one, Gary.
You know what?
Oh my
That's
God.
what, you just have a hotline.
That's
Need a lie.
genius.
No,
Needlelie.com.
but and
That's your side hustle. Need a lie.
in my youth, when I was young, not even in my youth, but into my young adult, I mean, I was, I had a lot of fun. It was good to be me.
Last month.
The month before, but no, seriously. So I've done some things that man, I wouldn't do again. I mean, that's one of the great things about getting older is that, if you survive the things, I was able to walk away from most of them, and I'm just not trying to go down that.
Yeah.
It took me long enough to get there. This would have been beneficial behaviors in my 20s and 30s.
I'm gonna stay on the topic. I'm thinking like in a marriage, I think people are gonna start comparing the sins. Mine was one time, yours was 3 months, or I didn't care about this person, I was drunk, you were sober, you know what I mean? You made a decision. I think you start to like pick apart instead of just saying, a spade is a spade is a spade is a spade.
I've often heard guys, ask in these situations, ask the wife, well, did you perform oral sex on him? It's like, she did you, dude. It's pretty
That's a
likely
part of
that
sex,
she did.
isn't it? Right.
And according to you, she's pretty good at it, so I would imagine she wants to share her gift.
Share her gift.
I would hate that you know what people's wives are good at. Good grief.
Well, people weren't born wise, like we always say. You weren't born married. So those maybe are you saying because
Because I don't want to incriminate anyone, and
they weren't talking about their wives with it. You just
I'm sure these guys were just saying these things in passing.
oh, so you were getting it from them. Wasn't something that you knew about the woman prior to the marriage.
He's being very facetious if you didn't catch it.
Okay.
But I mean, it's a point. Some people talk, some people don't. But, guys, I've often heard them say that, like, man, did you ask the wife? Well, I haven't heard them say it, but I know that they asked the wife, well, did you do this? And it's like, yeah.
Men talk about their wives like that.
That's what I'm like,
Hold
wow.
on, I'm not here to discuss it.
My wife sure can back it up.
Well, men may not give that information.
Yeah,
but-
because you don't want some other man imagining what your wife can do. I would imagine. I would think.
Well, if you're secure in who you are, guys will often say, man, she put it on me, or I put it on her.
I mean, that's in general.
Okay.
That's not specifics, That's like, okay, you had a good time last night.
Right. As opposed to, let me tell you about this costume she had. What?
With a Keisha wig?
The French maid.
No,
That's-
but people, to the point, yeah, people do try to compare sins, and and we were even saying it, that there are levels to it. If you did it 1 time versus 500 times, there's a difference.
Yeah, I guess there's a difference. Hurt is hurt though. You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
Yeah,
Hurt is
one
hurt.
500, because once could be a mistake, it happened, but 500 times, that's a pattern. It's a pattern of behavior that I can't rock with.
You're like, okay, so he slipped you a Mickey the first time. Now what happened on, the next year?
The 499
Right.
other times.
Right.
How many Mickeys did he have?
I knew you weren't going to PTA meetings all the time.
I mean, we laugh about it, but I think that this is a serious subject because infidelity and finances and respect, all those things are relationship altering and can be very destructive in a marriage. So,
Absolutely. All of them can breed resentment.
and that's what I was just thinking in my head. Like, even after you find out somebody has done something, how do you stop that resentment from just building up? And even though you may be guilty, because
Talking.
people are people.
Talking.
People are people.
You resent people when you hold stuff in and you can't communicate. You can't talk about it.
Yeah.
So it's horrible to hold things in. So the people that I know who are holding things in, and even me, I mean, I held some stuff in so long that it became like second nature just to pick my battles and not say anything. And resentment just grew, and then I was just, after a while, was just done. Like, why bother? Which I'm not saying is the right way to be,
Mm-hmm.
Surely I could have done some things better too. But resentment, the way to break that and break through like gangbusters is conversation, communication. Communication is so key, but it has to be honest. If you're going to be half-assing and lying about everything, then don't bother, because that's not really communicating. That's smoke screening and
Yes.
gaslighting.
But I do feel, and I stand behind that when you're communicating about something that you just found out, that shock value will have you talking
True.
in a very out the side of your neck kind of way.
True. You gotta
When
process.
you calm down and, as Gary says, stop all that crying.
Get off my shirt.
You quit wetting up my shirt with them tears. No, you will probably be able to talk about it much more
That's true.
adult-like and
That's very true.
with resolve on your brain versus, you did this, you hurt me, you.
That's very true.
Yeah, you can get to the we. Yeah. Well, that's all that's on my brain right now. What about yours?
What's on my brain is July 25th. That's our in-person event.
At Sanders Barbecue.
1742 West 103rd Street. West 99th Street.
I was getting
I'm
ready
like,
to say.
103rd Street.
It's on 99th Street in Chicago. Sanders Barbecue, delicious food. Get some cornbread and
And a real good conversation.
2 good conversations.
Yes.
And some good house music. And
For our married people, listen, we're having some topics that are literally specifically for you all. So we want to know how you guys handle these things. I mean, the goal is for us not to live our lives by ourselves, and everybody wants to have somebody, and we want it to work, and we want longevity. So we need you to let us know how to do it. So we want to hear your voice, we want to hear your comments, and yeah, house music afterwards, as if you didn't get enough last weekend.
well, can you have too much house music?
Never.
No.
Never.
Come on out. It's safe. It's clean. It's beautiful.
And the food is delicious.
And the food is 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
Off the chain.
Yeah.
Off the chain.
Fellow Saluki.
Oh, okay, whatever. But come on out. I'm not a Saluki.
All right, Husky.
You
Cyclone.
Saluki by association now. I don't know if you realize that or not.
Cyclone. Yes.
They're all dogs.
Cyclone?
No, that's just.
It's a bird.
Is it a cyclone?
Well, it's the mascot. Yeah.
Did you know a cyclone was a bird?
I thought it was like the.
No,
Me
it
too, like a whirlwind.
it's the a cyclone for
It's a
Iowa State.
hybrid.
It's a bird. Yeah. Anyway, y'all come out July 25th, 7 p.m. Don't be late. You don't want to.
No.
And the tickets will be on sale in a couple of days. So,
Yeah.
yeah. Anything else?
No, but don't be late because the conversations are starting at 7.
Yes.
So
7 p.m.
yeah.
Be there, be square. And don't be square.
And get your bites. You want to taste some stuff.
Oh, it's so good.
All right, guys. We're signing off. We appreciate you. Leave a comment, share, subscribe. Certainly. Right?
That's it.
All
All right. Have a good evening, everybody. Bye-bye.
Thank you, thank you.
Thank you, thank you.
Thank you. X in the middle. X in the middle.